Hey, what's up, guys? Are we staying on? There we go. All right. Had a glitch. It was, I don't know, for some reason going offline. How's everybody doing today? Happy Friday. Welcome to another live stream. In this live stream, we're going to talk about what's being coined the god of chaos, Apophis, the large asteroid that is definitely going to cross paths with the Earth out here soon. Last one, 207. Hello, how are you today? Axe Red Rum, 5 times 5. What's up, guys? Hope you're having a great day. I'll get to all this stuff and other things here in just a moment. Ray Henry, Blue Tube, Drusilla, Miss Dinglepants, Phone Home. Hello, guys. What's up? Stephanie, Annie B, signed Sanity IGY6. Have some new Star family members I'm going to reach out to here in just a little bit. Shout outs to what's up, guys? There's my moderator, always on top of things. Does a good job. I got a lot of cool stuff I want to share with you guys. So just hang tight. We're going to talk about um Pappas and what basically not necessarily what we're not being told, what's not being talked about. And it's something that I've seen for many times over the years, not necessarily with regard to Apophis specifically, but with large asteroids in general. Hang on just a second. I've got to give a shout out to these folks here as promised. Here we go. And there they are. Scott Alderfer, Ackerman 777. What's up, guys? Okay, that went back over there, but I definitely want to give a shout out to my newest Star family members. I always do, and I'm not going to change today. Lori Rose. Thank you, Lori Rose. Newest Blue Star family member, Ackerman 777, just rejoined. Christopher Gebhardt, Janice Porter, I'm not the internet, and Scott Alderfer just rejoined. Thank you guys. Welcome aboard. Really appreciate that. In this video, I've got some unique video footage to share with you guys. It's been sent in from various locations all around the world. And we'll get to that in this video as well. I'm trying to move I have another monitor here that I use to look at the comments. I like to, yeah, hit that like button. Oh, yeah. And since we're on that topic, like button, here's what I want to do. I want to try to do this before the end of this video. And I'll tell you why I'm doing this, because pretty much on a weekly basis, I get either emails or comments in the comment section from people saying that they've been unsubscribed from the YouTube channel. And in some cases, they've been longtime subscribers. I have no control over that, guys. I don't know why that happens. I apologize. But let's do this. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And here's how you do it: the red button you see there, click subscribe, and then activate the bell. And the reason you activate the bell, it's a two-step process. You activate the bell if you want to get notified on your device, whether it be your device or your computer, whenever I upload a new video or come on and do a live stream. If you would like notified, simply click the bell, and also subscribe. If you're a current subscriber, double check and make sure that you're still subscribed. And I tell you why, because people get unsubscribed. So right here it is, and you can see it in real time. Let's see, if you click the subscribe button, that number should change right here in real time, because this is real time. See there, sometimes it goes backwards, it'll go up and down. Let's just see. Just click the red button, click the bell. That's if you want notified. And I understand why it's a two-step process, because let's say you're subscribed to a couple of hundred YouTube channels and they all decide to upload a video, I don't know, within the same, see it just went up, somebody just subscribed. Let's say they all decided to upload a video at the same time. and you got 200 notifications to your phone back to back to back to back to back. And you got notified of 200 videos that were just uploaded by 200 different content creators. Well, obviously, you wouldn't be able to get a chance to watch them all. So, totally get the idea behind that. But I don't understand why people get unsubscribed. So, if you're a new viewer, click subscribe, and of course, hit the like button if you like the content that we are getting ready to talk about. And if you're a current subscriber, double check, make sure that you're still subscribed. And again, it's a two-step process. Click the subscribe button, click the bell. And I'll remind you guys again, especially you new folks that are currently on the live stream. Welcome to my live stream. I've been doing live streams more this month, probably than any other month, because I've gotten more data from people this month than I've probably ever gotten before. People are seeing a lot of things in the sky. The incident with the moon, for instance. In fact, let's talk about the moon. We talked about an object. This photo was sent in by Michael. Actually, I just got this today. It was in the Dropbox. This is a classic reflection. See the reflection over here on the lower right-hand corner, or the lower right-hand side at about the 5 o'clock position. That's a classic reflection. It's backwards. You can see the moon at a slight right angle, and you can see the reflection is backwards it's a backwards view of the moon. That's a classic reflection. That's not anything nefarious up in the sky. That's a reflection right there. It's on the lens of your recording device. So that's just a classic example of a reflection. But here recently, we've had video footage of what appears to be something near the moon that's not behaving like a reflection. So that's why I wanted to touch on that and show you an example of a classic reflection. That's what that is. That's not anything at all. And if you do see a reflection, it's always going to be backwards, just like that, unless it's round. And if you have the full moon, then your reflection is going to be round. So that is a reflection. I've got close-up views of the moon from various people and showed not one thing that looked ominous, like an asteroid, a small moon. Mandy out of southern Arizona saw what looked like a small moon next to the moon. Her and her whole family saw it last year. Scott from Shelton, Connecticut recorded this video, and he noticed a star back right behind the moon. I also have video footage I'll share with you guys either tomorrow or the next day of something that was up near the moon, just like that. Looked like a star behind the moon, but it was not an asteroid or something like that. It was traveling at the same speed as the moon, so it probably wasn't a planet or a background star. But this is video footage showing the moon, and there's not anything up here. In Scott's video, here's a video by Tim out of Longview, Texas, and all this video footage is from less than 72 hours ago. So whatever people have been seeing in their photos and videos from the moon, it looks like, according to this video footage here, Tim out of Longview, Texas, and what we're doing, we're looking for this mysterious object that has been spotted in the sky. It's shown up in videos that did not look like reflections. However, in these very good videos, I mean, we can get really close, detailed views here of craters on the moon. And as you can see, Tim's going around the moon, what he's doing, he's showing us the whole field of view here. And this object that was spotted by Mandy, she saw it down here at, I don't know, the 7, 8 o'clock position back in 2022. She saw it with the naked eye. It didn't show up in video. She saw an object next to the moon. She said that looked very dark, looked very ominous. That's a video by Tim out of Longview, and this is a video by Carlos Skywatcher out of Portugal. And it didn't show anything in his video either. So whatever was up there, potentially was up there, it's not visible, or at least it wasn't visible on the 27th. And this is a video of the Earth-facing side of the sun. You can see the active regions that are visible through the cloud cover from Portugal. Carlos Skywatcher. A couple of photos here by David Dewey out of Alaska, also on the 27th. So all the moon footage that you just saw was from December 27th. And again, nothing nefarious visible on that day, and that was during the recent full moon. So whatever was up there, and I think people saw something in the sky near the moon. I think it was very random. I agree with everybody over here that says, well, why didn't everybody in the world see it? Totally agree. That's a question that is a huge question and a big mystery. Why didn't everybody see it? Some people did, some people didn't. So very elusive object, digital revolution. What's going on, Josie Wales? How's it going, guys? Skywatcher Carlos. Hey, what's up, Carlos? It's getting kind of late over there in Portugal, isn't it, buddy? Probably got the sunset today if it wasn't cloudy in your location. Thanks for the video footage, Carlos. You do a great job. Check out Carlos's YouTube channel if you haven't. Carlos does an excellent job recording sunsets from Portugal. He hardly misses a sunset. He's on that daily. Gets really good sunsets every day. Super Kitty Show. Space is fake. Barney, the moon in Scotland. La Nina, Dustin H. La Nina? We're just coming out of La Nina, going into El Nino. And that's why we're having like these weather changes and stuff like that, Brooks. Not too many people look up Brooks. Um, you know what? You're right, Brooks. People don't really look up a lot. Everybody's always like this. They're looking down in their phones. Say what? Look down in their phones. You ever go to a restaurant or something like that out in public? Everybody's like this. That's just what we do, you know. We hardly even at the dinner table, people are eating their food. Yeah, you say something? You know, you're looking at your phone. Uh, it's part of the human experience now. You're born with a smartphone in your hand. It seems like. Um, our skies today, Adam Truth Seeker. Okay, guys, here we go. Apophis. We're gonna get right to it. This is just a very basic orbit diagram of Apophis. 99942 is its official number. Apophis is around a quarter mile wide. Pretty good sized asteroid, right? Over 1,200 feet, almost 1,300 feet wide. And supposedly, this is going to, well, it is. I've already looked at the JPL orbit diagram of Apophis, and it's right here. Here it is. This thing's going to come eerily close to Earth for a NEO, an Aten NEO of that size. But here's the thing. There's a number. If you want to look it up at the NASA JPL, you type in 99942, and it'll bring up the orbit diagram. Or you can click on. It'll bring up a set of metrics data about the asteroid, and you can also click on the orbit diagram, orbit viewer, and here you go. And this is where Apophis is going to be on April 13th, 2029. Okay, so we've still got about 5 years, 4.5 years before this thing. It's going to be right there. See on my screen? That's where it's going to be as it's coming towards the Earth on April 13th of 2029. Right there. See it? But here's what people aren't talking about. It's, getting all kinds of talk about the god of chaos, and a NASA spacecraft recently returned from a mission to asteroid Bennu, and it's been relaunched to study another asteroid, Apophis, that's due to make close approach to the Earth on April 13th of 2029, coming within 20,000 miles, actually just a little less. Here's the thing, guys, with this type of asteroid, it's big enough to where, yes, Earth's gravity is going to influence the orbit of this thing. They're going to feel each other. Absolutely 100%. But what's not being talked about is, okay, here's one thing that we can do. And I've been following this since I've used this website for probably 20 years, spaceweather.com. And I've learned a lot from this website. I really have. I've followed I'm at the near Earth asteroid um, list that he updates every day over here. 2,349 as of December 29th. And I can remember when this was 200. 200. Now they've identified 2,349 potentially hazardous near Earth objects. Thomas Lindley, welcome to the star family, Thomas. Thank you, man. Um, but one thing that's not being talked about Apophis, and it'll be on this list. It is on the list. It's just not close enough to close approach. These things don't travel alone, man. This asteroid is part of a family. Okay, so if this thing's coming in, and this is its orbit diagram over here, you see on this little banner I made. Okay, that's the Earth and asteroids orbiting the Earth, some zipping around. That's Apophis coming in. It's going to disturb potentially some asteroids that are already orbiting the Earth, but it's not going to be traveling alone. There's no way. This thing's too big. It's a quarter of a mile wide. So here's the thing. I'm not saying that Apophis is going to collide with Earth. Or, in fact, they're saying that it's not going to, and I agree. It shouldn't, but I haven't seen it. I can only track it using this. This is as close as I can get. And according to this is the day that it's supposed to come close to the Earth. According to this, let's just go full screen. There we go. Okay, here it is. Should go right around the Earth. All right, let me see if I can step this forward, which I'm sure I can. There we go. There. It's supposed to safely pass the Earth. That's the 15th, 16th, 17th, and then away it goes. I know it's difficult to see, but that's the best we can do, right? There's Apophis, there's the Earth. April of 2029. It should not collide with the Earth, but coming that close, it's not going to be alone. And no way. I've seen it too many times over the years. I've watched this list here grow to over 2,000 when it was 200. And I've learned something along the way. When these big asteroids come close to the Earth, and I'm talking, 20 LD and or 10 LD, 11 LD, that's considered close. We always, 9 out of 10 times, because I can't say every time because I haven't watched every one that close. I wouldn't be being honest with you. But most of the time that I've watched very closely, when a large asteroid, especially one this big, comes this close to the Earth, there's an increase in meteors that do enter the atmosphere. So let's say that this one here, this Apophis is, well, obviously it's nearly a quarter of a mile wide. That's huge. Okay, let's say it's got a family of 50, and they can't see them. They're too focused on Apophis, and these asteroids are traveling with it. Some of them are going to get drawn in. If the Earth's gravity is going to affect this asteroid, which it will, and it's going to alter its orbit. So the next time it comes around the Earth's orbit in the Earth's neck of the woods in the cosmic or in the solar system, it's going to change its path to where someday, I don't know when, someday the gravity alteration is going to probably bring it right towards the Earth. Is it going to happen anytime soon? Probably not, but it could. But it's what's traveling with it. That's what people aren't talking about, and that's what we're not being told. This thing isn't traveling alone. It has a family. It probably has a big family. And it could have all kinds of kinfolk that are 10 feet wide, 20 feet wide, 100 feet wide, 300 feet wide, 400 feet wide. And some of those traveling with this big asteroid could get pulled into the atmosphere. I've seen it so many times over the years by simply following this list. When I see big ones coming in, and here's the diameter size over here, the far right-hand column, 230 meters. That would be somewhere in the neighborhood of 700 feet. And that's not a super close approach. The close approach is this column right here, 15.2 LD, LD being lunar distance. So that's 15 times the distance between the Earth and the Moon. That's how far it's going to be away from the Earth. So not super close, right? But you take one that's 230 meters in diameter and you bring it 1 LD away from the Earth, just one, you'll see an increase in fireballs, meteors coming into the atmosphere because they don't travel alone. They travel in packs. They travel in packs. So that's what we're not being told. That's what's not being talked about. This asteroid, I'm 99.9% sure, has a family. There's a family of asteroids traveling with him. He's just the leader of the pack because he's the biggest, and that's who they're watching is Apophis because it's the biggest and potentially the most dangerous. It's not going to collide with the Earth according to the calculations, and they're very confident that it's not going to collide with the Earth. But that doesn't mean it couldn't, like I said, have family members that could be anywhere from a foot wide to 10 feet wide to 300 feet wide. Who knows? But you can rest assured it's not traveling alone. No, it's got friends and it's got family. And yeah, it's not traveling alone. So anyway, that's the story on Apophis. And that's the thing that nobody's really talking about. I've seen it for 15 years. That's how long, actually longer than that. I've seen these things come close to the Earth, and next thing you know, there's an increase in fireballs in the skies above the Earth. A quick update on the ancient time traveler and the solar eclipse. We are now 100 days away from April 8th of 2024, when we'll be experiencing over here in North America the total solar eclipse. It's going to be joined by this guy right here, 12P Pons Brooks comet coming into the solar system right now as I do this video. There's the location of the comet. In fact, I have a photo right here of the comet. And this is a recent photo by Odd Trondle out of Oslo, Norway. It's from December, and this is during one of its outbreaks. And what astronomers are noticing, they're starting to notice a pattern. This is the comet that's going to join us during the solar eclipse right here, April 8th. He's coming to town. He's going to be in the daytime sky and might be throwing a fit. We'll have to wait and see. But what they're noticing right now, they're noticing a pattern with regard to throwing a fit. This thing has ice volcanoes on it. And when it does throw a fit, it puts off these jets. And these jets apparently come off of both sides, giving this thing the appearance of having horns or wings or something like that. That's going to join us for the total eclipse in April of 2024. So the daytime sky could be joined, or actually it will be joined. It's just a matter of how bright it's going to be. It could look something like this. It could look something like that next to the solar eclipse. Are you serious right now? Can't make this stuff up. Right there. There you go. That. Possibly two jets coming off the side of that thing. Volcanic jets. What? Yeah, right there. April 8th, 2024. Be there. Here's where we're going to be on April 8th, 2024. Somewhere in the path of totality. The path you see on this map right here, this is the path of 100% totality during the solar eclipse. You'll have the best seat on Earth right here. Waco, Texas, Fort Worth, Dallas. You guys are going to have the best seat on Earth. You're going to see 100% of the eclipse if it's not cloudy. Even if it's a little bit cloudy, you'll still be able to see it because sometimes a thin layer of clouds will act as a solar filter. So it'll give you an even better view. It's going to be visible 100% near St. Louis, Detroit, Cleveland, Buffalo, Rochester. And somewhere in this path, I'm waiting on the weather. Got to wait, obviously, another 90 days right there because we're 100 days away from the event. So I'm waiting on the 10-day forecast, and if we can find a place that's going to have pretty much guaranteed clear skies, we're going to do a live stream from one of these locations, whether it be Burlington, Montreal, Rochester, Buffalo, Cleveland, Dayton, Ohio is going to be in the path of totality. Dallas, Fort Worth, Waco, somewhere in that area, we're going to do a live stream of this event. So we're going to be looking at the eclipse, obviously, and we're going to be looking for the wild comet. This thing here has astronomers truly baffled. But one thing that they're noticing, they say that today, today's the 29th, they're saying that today this thing is due to throw what they call another fit, erupt. And what it's been doing approximately every 15 days, they're noticing this thing has an outburst, and it develops these, you can see in this image here that was taken back on December 3rd. See how it's got like wings or something? That's a comet. That's a comet that's the size of Houston, Texas, that's coming to our sky on April 8th. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. But apparently every 15 days, this thing is throwing a fit. It's having like repetitive volcanic eruptions. And the thing is, with this thing, the closer it gets to the inner solar system, the closer it gets to the sun, the greater the probability that this thing will have more of these volcanic outbursts because of the close proximity to the sun and the solar wind. Solar wind seems to trigger these things anyway. So there's where it's at right now. Comet 12P Pons Brooks. That's the one that's coming to town, and right there is where it will be. And we will be right there on the Earth looking at the eclipse, and the comet will shine like a bright star in the daytime sky. You can't make this stuff up. I'm surprised they haven't already made a movie about something like this. No joke. That is truly, truly bizarre. So anyway, Apophis traveling inbound. Just know that this thing, more than likely, guys, is not traveling alone. He has family, and he has friends, and he has probably got a lot of them. So just know that we'll probably see a significant increase of or not necessarily asteroids, but meteors entering the atmosphere as this thing makes its close approach. No joke. So the skies could light up when Apophis gets close to the Earth. And again, it's supposed to come, I think, within 20,000 miles, maybe a little bit less, close enough to where the Earth's gravity will influence the orbit of this approaching asteroid. Pretty big deal. And supposedly, here's another thing about this thing that's not being talked about. This thing might be visible with the naked eye. Wow, that's rare to be able to look up and see an asteroid visible in the daytime sky with the naked eye. That's a big deal. So anyway, yeah, looking forward to that day too. Before I forget, because I always forget, don't forget to subscribe if you're a new viewer. Just a Guy 69, Timothy P, Sam Tucker, Athena, Dustin H. If you guys aren't subscribed, click on the subscribe button, Patrick. Thomas Lindley, Mustang 68. That's my pilot, Mustang 68. What's going on? You know it, Mustang 68. Subscribe, click the bell if you want notified whenever I upload a new video. For some reason, people get unsubscribed. I apologize. I do not know why. I have no control over that. But it happens. I myself have been unsubscribed from people. So I know it does happen. Here's what we were just talking about. They call this thing the devil comet hurtling towards the Earth to erupt today. That's what we just talked about, because this thing has like a 15-day outbreak period, at least somewhat close, 14, 15, 16, and it develops these horns, these wings, these ice volcanoes that for some reason they're on like a 15-day cycle, and they don't know if it's got something to do with its orientation to the sun and the solar wind and things like that. But I do know once it gets closer to the sun, it will probably become more active, and we could see something like this in the daytime sky, potentially during the solar eclipse when the daylight turns to dark. We could look up and see something like that, possibly two tails, two horns, wings, whatever you want to call it, in the daytime sky. That will be a day that will go down in the history books and be talked about forever. I'm not kidding. That will be quite an event. Should be something, if you can actually see it, you probably something you'll never forget. And again, the path of totality is very wide, stretches from southwest Mexico all the way up to Newfoundland, um, over 200, over 2,500 miles. And there's several places for 100% totality, but that doesn't necessarily mean people in Augusta, up in Augusta, Maine, you guys are in the 95% range. So you're going to have an excellent view. Boston's in the 92% range. So it will look like that. So you don't necessarily have to be right in the middle of the path of totality to have a good view. Everybody close to this yellow line is going to have an awesome view. The only thing is clouds, you know. Very light cloud cover is good. It's actually not bad at all because it provides it's like a solar shield, you know. Sometimes it helps tone down some of the brightness, but sometimes if it's too cloudy, obviously that's not good. But here's the states that are in the path of totality in the United States: Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky, just on the far northwest edge of Kentucky, southeastern Illinois, right through the middle of Indiana. Indiana's got a spectacular view, and so does Arkansas, by the way, and Ohio. Pennsylvania, the far northern tip of Pennsylvania, most of the state of New York, the northern half of New York will be in the path of totality. All of northern Vermont, path of totality. All of northern New Hampshire in the path of totality. All of, with the exception of the far northern tip of Maine, is in the path of totality. And going up into Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, you guys are going to have great views as well, all the way up into eastern Canada. Check that out. Right through the middle of Newfoundland, New Brunswick. Montreal is right on the edge. Montreal, you're going to have a very good view. So, big day, guys. The ancient time traveler is still coming. In fact, last night, I don't have the folder up, but the photos didn't turn out anyway. I'm starting to get the equipment out and getting the dust off the equipment. I was doing some photo ops last night of the northern sky. I'm going to pull it in. I'm going to see it. I'll find it. It's just a matter of getting the dust off the equipment. So um, I'll get it. Just give me a little time. Give me a little time. What's going on over here in the chat room with all you all? Terrestrial, how you doing? Super Kitty Show, Scotland. Scotland, you'll be able to see the eclipse, I think, but obviously it won't be 100%. Screw what you're talking about. Serpents as doves. All praises to the Most High. Jace Ventura 2. It's just an eclipse. No, it's not just an eclipse. No, sir. Apophis is a serpent. Mustang 66. Just to note that it's no longer classified. We had a F-15 shoot down a satellite back in '87, so we got this covered. Mustang 68, you see in the chat room there, is a former pilot. So you know that man has seen some things, right? What's going on, guys? Claudette from Ontario, Canada. What's going on, guys? How's the weather up in Canada? It's going to be a mild winter, and you guys already know why. Shiner Dryden. Hey, Shiner, how's it going? From Idaho. What's up, Idaho? Knock the dust off the telescope and the camera, which is sitting right over there. I've already got the camera out, cleaned the lens last night, got the battery charging. I've still got to clean off my SD card or clean it out. So it's got plenty of room. In fact, I may buy a new one because sometimes those SD cards will get what they call hot pixels, and you may have the most beautiful picture in the world, and then I have some hot pixels that you can't get out of the image. So sometimes it's best to just go pick up a new SD card. I've noticed that. I've learned something I learned over the years. But the telescope's over there. Got to unwrap it. It's still wrapped up from the move. Haven't even unwrapped it. So yeah, guys, I'm still trying to kind of get settled. Telescope's wrapped up over there in plastic. I'm glad because it protected it, but yeah, when I say I'm still getting settled, I'm not kidding. I'm still getting the dust blowing off of things. What's up, Sandra? Jason, Polynesian Pip, how long's the tail? That's a good question, Polynesian. And we can look. This is from December 3rd. The closer it gets to the sun, the longer the tail will potentially get because the comet will become more active, being influenced by the solar wind. So it will cause the tail to become longer, sometimes producing an ion tail, a second tail. Right now, this thing's got no problem at all showing off up in the sky. It's got ice volcanoes on it and all kinds of stuff. So it should not be an ordinary solar eclipse, my friends. This should be one for the record books. No joke. If I'm going to travel to one of these states here and do a live stream from one of these states, it's not just an ordinary eclipse. I could stay here in Phoenix, and Phoenix, we're looking at 65%. This is what we would see. 60 to 65%. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I'd be grateful. But I want to see 100% because I want to see this comet. I can't recall ever having a solar eclipse or an eclipse of any kind that was joined at the same time with a comet. I don't know that that's ever happened. So it's not just any eclipse. No, not by a long shot, not even close. Today's feature photo on the homepage of the website was sent in by our friend Dale out of Fort Lupton, Colorado, who captures some incredible skies up in the Rockies. Dale out of Fort Lupton, yet another incredible photo. Thank you guys for all your photos and videos. I really appreciate it. I want to show you guys I think is it here? It is right here. It's only in 720, but we can expand it to fill the screen. Here you go. Watch in the back of the screen. You're going to see a high-speed fireball. This is what the sky could look like when Apophis comes near. Check that out. Warrenton, Missouri, Alana, December 20th of 2023. That went so fast I didn't even see the time. 12:43 a.m. Check that out. You would have thought Apophis was in the neighborhood. The skies could look like that when Apophis and friends make their close approach. Wouldn't doubt it at all. Trust you me, that asteroid has a big family. How big? That remains to be seen. But that was a meteor spotted above Missouri a little over a week ago. I want to show you guys something that they look like. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm going to share a few videos that have been sent in. Guys, honestly, I'm always honest with you guys. I don't sit here and make stuff up. Honestly, a big part of the reason I'm doing a lot of these live streams is because I've got so much material. I've got folder after folder after folder of things to share with you guys that have been sent in. And the best way to do it is in a live stream, because I like to see what you guys have to say about it. Willie Wayne, Valerian, the Mac, Apophis comes in 2029 and comes back around 2036, which is 7 years. So next will be 2020. You're right. You're right. And it does. If you look at the orbit diagram, it does orbit inside the solar system. Warrenton, Missouri, you're 20 miles from there, Beans and Frank. Well, that's where that meteor was spotted back on the 20th. And I mean, it was moving through the sky. But check this out, guys. Stick with me. And if you haven't subscribed, Barb, servant of the Most High, Space Baby, here's how you do it. Watch, check this out. And the reason I say it is because people have been getting unsubscribed that are subscribed. Look for the subscribe button. You'll see a red button that says subscribe. When you subscribe, it turns white. Click on the bell right next to the subscribe button. That way, you'll get notified whenever I upload a new video, if you want notified. If not, just stop by the YouTube channel every once in a while. I typically upload every day. But if you're a current subscriber, just double check and make sure that you're still subscribed. That's all. I have no control over the those types of things where it unsubscribes. I personally have been unsubscribed to, so it's just something that happens. But don't forget to subscribe if you want to. It's entirely up to you. Okay, here we go. Another video. GP3, not sure of the location, but the date was December 19th of 2023 at 5:25 p.m. Here we go. He's trying to rationalize. The guys, there was a little bit of narration here, but it was difficult to hear the narration. He's trying to rationalize and use deductive reasoning on what he's looking at here. He's like, well, if they were drones, it'd be this. If those were Chinese lanterns, which when I first saw this video, I'm like, okay, those are classic Chinese lanterns. But then the more I watched it, they kind of hovered in the same spot, kept the same basic shape, and then went back down. A Chinese lantern, and you've all seen them, I know you guys have, they're at the mercy of the wind. Wherever the wind goes, they go. It's just that simple. They're so light, I don't even think they weigh, 4 ounces, but they just drift upward at a slight angle with the wind. These did not. Even if there's no wind, a Chinese lantern will still go up. These stayed in the same spot, and then, as you'll see, they decided to go and just go in for a landing. There they go. So they weren't sure if they were drones, if they were planes, if they were something. He said they were something other than drones. He didn't think they were drones. This is just a inverted format. I was trying to pull forward any features on these mysterious objects where they had wings, tail fins, propellers. Nothing, nothing. They were just some sort of mysterious orbs. Waiting to hear back on the exact location of these objects that were spotted back on December 19th of 2023. Thank you, GP3, and thank you, Bella. Tyler, drones come with flares attached. I agree. I don't think so. I do know this. Some drones have a green light. So when we get video footage of a mysterious green light in the nighttime sky that's not super high up, because these things can only go so high and stay in range, um, pretty good chance it could be a drone if it's green. But not all drones are the same color. But I do know the majority have a green light on them. Jim Ferguson, Dan IL. How's it going, guys? I see UFOs all the time, alien, drone, and military planes. Channel 1. Me, myself, and I, UFOs are demons. Maggot vomit. Throw away 3.5 of those 4 folders. No, I can't do that. I've got a lot of folders with material, and I'm going to try to get through it all, or get through the most that I can. Here we go. Check this out. Speaking of drones, I think that's what we have here, but I'll leave it up to you guys to decide, because I've seen videos like this before over the years, and the reason I'm even bringing it up or showing it is because of that very reason. I've seen videos like this pre-drone, before drones were a big thing, okay? Drones are mainstream now. Drones are all over the place. They're used for a variety of different things, including probably recording an erupting volcano, right? Well, this video footage was sent in by Jim, and it's an observation of the erupting volcano in Iceland from December 19th. Also, same day as that last video, by the way. Obviously, this is a different location. December 19th. As Jim was observing the erupting volcano, he noticed this in the field of view. Check it out. What's going on? 239 Giant. I fly drones for 35 years. Did not look like drones. Thank you. What's this look like, 239 Giant? Could a drone get that close to that lava? What's up, Russ Tyrell? I want to see that video, Steve. Hopefully, Mr. gets. I check the videos every day. Check it out right there. See it? So what's going on here? This is Jim. He's watching the volcanic eruption, and he's just actually filming his screen. He wasn't prepared to see any type of unusual activity. He's watching the volcano erupt. This thing just appeared, just flying around above the lava. I would think it would be rather hot, but I don't know. See how close it looks? Ice on the volcano. But I've seen things like this before drones were mainstream. Yeah. So maybe it's something else. I don't know. He's going to back it up and show us again. What do you guys think? Isn't that cool, space baby? I'm telling you, it is cool. Check it out. Just kind of appears back here. Watch. Watch, it'll just come into the field of view right there. There it goes. Right. There you go. See how close it is to the lava? Look at that. I think that would affect the batteries and stuff like that if that were a drone, right? Thermal energy terrestrial. Okay. JP Bass Sr., Brian Vance. What's up, guys? But yeah, the reason I'm sharing this, number one, it's a cool video. Great observation by Jim, who was observing the Iceland volcano when this appeared in the field of view. Very cool, and a good eye by Jim to even notice that. We certainly know it's not a bird, right? Because a bird wouldn't be that close to lava that hot. I mean, right there, it's very low. Couldn't be more than 20 feet off the ground. Could a drone handle something like that? Could a drone be that close right there? That's not a drone, channel one. Okay. Lava can have magnetic field. Yep. Not a drone. Rose Madaleno. Thank you, Rose. So most people are saying not a drone. Thank you. I appreciate that. I agree. I don't think a drone could be that close. You know, if it were my drone, would I fly it that close to hot lava, potentially losing the thing out there? Probably not. That's pretty close right there. But again, I've seen videos like this, and I'm sure a lot of you too, Kathy and Just a Guy 69, Vicious Hunty, you guys have seen videos like that, just like me, before drones were all everywhere like they are today. Drones are absolutely everywhere. Is this one? I don't think so either. I think it's too close. I think it's too close. I don't think it could handle the intense heat. I mean, that would be like being above the surface of the sun over there, right? So yeah, pretty hot. Cool video, good observation by Jim. And this also goes back to December 19th of 2023. Great job, Jim. As the Iceland volcano was erupting, some sort of a mysterious object spotted out above the flowing lava up in Iceland just about 10 days ago. 10 days ago today. Okay, now we're going to another video I want to share with you guys. And tell me what you think. I always like your opinion. I have an opinion too. I'll tell you what I think this is. Is this a drone? Is this something else? Don't know. It's out of Mendenhall, Mississippi. It's just a very interesting video. And this is not, in my humble opinion, appearing from the ground. Cassidy McGee video goes back to 24 hours ago. Actually, just over 24 hours ago at 5:30 in the morning, yesterday morning. She's walking out to her car to go to work. You can see it's still dark outside. And that's why I showed an overview of the location. This is a highly rural area of Mississippi. In fact, somebody in here might be from this area. Volcano is a earth wound, iron blood, dropping bad stuff, and it looks, volcano is an earth wound. Um, that's, yeah. Uh, I would elaborate on that. You're right. You're right. It's the Earth trying to escape, right? That's what it reminds me of. But anyway, this is where we're at. It's a very rural location, and the reason I'm emphasizing that is because sometimes in larger cities you'll see these spotlights, that are shining lights up into the sky. This is at 5:30 in the morning. out in the country. And this young lady, Cassidy, was just getting ready to go to work. You can see look, let me pause the video right here. See her car door? See the top of her car door right there? She said she opened up her door and she was getting ready to sit down in her car. And she noticed this up in the sky. And like we talked about a couple of days ago, notice the fog. See how foggy it is? She looks up and sees this in the sky. Like something was up there surveying something. Wasn't it a helicopter or an airplane? Wasn't making any noise. Just kind of moving back and forth behind this tree line. And there wasn't anybody out there flying a drone at 5:30 in the morning because she didn't hear anything. Number two, there made no sound. Check it out. And that's not coming from the ground. That's something up in the sky. That's out in rural Mississippi. What? What is that thing? Again, this young lady's just going to work, minding her own business. Here it is. What is that thing? So what I do here in just a minute, I put it in fast forward. The video is around a minute long. I know, it's kind of weird, right? 5:30 in the morning in rural, very rural Mississippi. This thing's just kind of surveying where she's at. Nobody's out playing with drones at 5:30 in the morning, especially in the fog. It's foggy. That shows up in the sky. Now, what I did, I put it in fast forward so we can see it kind of going back and forth. And I was looking for, just in case, I was looking for a beam coming up from the ground. And there was no beam coming up from the ground. This thing was originating, or the light source itself was originating from the sky. This is fast forward. I'm just putting it fast forward. See, I just kind of stayed behind that tree like it was surveying something or observing something back there, looking for something maybe back there behind that tree, again, in a very rural, remote area, Mendenhall, Mississippi, way out here in the country. That was no spotlight in a city advertising a car sale or a ball game or something like that. This is rural Mississippi. A foggy morning, yesterday morning at 5:30 in the morning, some sort of a mysterious light appears out of nowhere, and she's getting in her car to go to work. Get stuff like this all the time. There's been an increase in these types of sightings and sightings very similar to this. That's why I have multiple folders of just infinite material. You guys are able to capture these mysterious things in the skies with your smartphones because everybody's got one now. So you have instant access to record anything in the sky with your phones. And you guys you don't miss a trick. Eye of the state, terrestrial, the light. What's going on, SDL? Kathy Rennick, softball mom, 1624. Rob Bob. You can see the angle of the light. It's coming from the ground. I thought so too, Imperial, but it's not. It's not coming from the ground. Nobody was over there at 5:30 in the morning in rural Mississippi shining a spotlight up in the sky advertising lemonade or coffee at 5:30 in the morning out in the middle of a field. No, sir, I humbly disagree. Timothy P. Coincidence. Howdy, y'all. Jonathan Pope, thanks for the photos and videos. Jonathan, I'm still working on your video, by the way, Jonathan. Jonathan sent a video that's from a dash cam, and he makes a turn, and there's this black object up in the sky in the proximity of the sun. Really cool video by Jonathan Pope. I still have that video, Jonathan. Thanks for sharing, buddy. What's up, Chad? Andrew Powers, SDL. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Double check if you are a subscriber. Make sure you're still subscribed. I've had a few people here recently say they were unsubscribed for whatever reason. I have no idea why. So if you're new to the channel and you want to see more videos, click subscribe, click the bell. The bell will let you know when I upload a new video. And of course, subscribe. If you are a new viewer, if you are a returning subscriber, double check and make sure that you are still subscribed. Okay, so that was rural Mississippi. Guys, I looked at it very close. I don't think it's a light from the ground. Again, this is way out in the country. There was nobody out there advertising for anything. It was not coming from the ground. I can show you a video. I don't have it up though of lights coming from the ground from Disney World, sent in by Bradley from Central Florida. I used to live there, Bradley, if you're watching, and he sent me a video of these lights moving through the sky, and they were easily identifiable. Bradley's in Central Florida, and the lights were from Disney World and Universal. I used to live there. I would see those lights every night. And the fireworks every night. What's going on, guys? Peaceful Warrior. Hello, Chad, Athena. Glad everybody stopped by and spent part of your Friday going into the weekend. Now, we've been talking about Apophis. We've been talking about how it's probably, I'm almost sure of it, Apophis has a family. It's not traveling alone. So when it does come close to the Earth, and it's going to come back again, not only in 2029, but it's going to come back in 2036, and it's going to come back in 2043. And it could accumulate family members between now and then. Its family could get bigger, but it's not alone. Those bigger types of objects always have family members and friends. They don't travel alone. And some of the family members are babies, and some of them are big, big family members. So just know that this thing is not traveling alone. And that's what we're not being told. And it's not necessarily that it's a secret. It's just that nobody's really taking that into consideration. Because if Earth is going to alter the orbit of Apophis, it is definitely going to pull in some of its family members into the atmosphere. Earth's gravity pulls in meteors, like we just saw. I just showed you guys one, this fast fireball right here. I'll show it to you again. This is a classic example of gravity grabbing a hold of a meteor that got too close to the Earth, and it pulled it in. So Apophis is going to have family members like this, and they're probably going to get pulled into the atmosphere. Will it grab a hold of some bigger ones? It certainly could. It just depends on how close they come to the Earth. Apophis is not going to itself come close enough, like 20,000 miles, but it's going to come close enough to where its orbit is going to be influenced by the Earth's gravity. So cool stuff coming, guys. And again, we are 100 days away from probably the coolest solar eclipse ever. That's going to be joined by a comet, a daytime comet. So countdown begins 100 days away. Quick look at the sun activity, guys. There is I'm going to show you real quick, a gigantic sunspot on the backside of the sun. It's affecting the way the sun oscillates. It's that big. Here's a little bit of the activity from the SOHO LASCO C2. This is the close view of the sun. That was a filament eruption. You can see the beginnings of a strong solar flare, CME right there. And then you're going to see the wide field of view here. You're going to see the large CME and solar eruptions coming off the backside of the sun. I'm going to show you guys something here that's it's actually quite shocking, to be honest with you. Check this out. This is the backside of the sun. You're going to see a sunspot that's turning towards the Earth right now as I do this video. This is how big it is. This is on the backside of the sun. That's a sunspot that occupies nearly 20 degrees. Well, from the 0 degree latitude almost up to the 30. That's the active region of the sunspot on the backside of the sun. That is absolutely massive. It's so big, it's actually altering the oscillation of the sun. And that's turning towards the Earth. Is it visible yet? Let's just look and see. I don't think so. This is the Solar Dynamics Observatory. We still have, there's like a big snake. Check it out. Look at that big opening on there. That's a coronal hole. Big opening in the atmosphere of the sun, at least in that layer. It's grown. Looked at it yesterday, and it was just down here. So that has actually gotten bigger. But it's just a coronal hole. Happens all the time. There's just a speed of solar wind coming out of there. I was going to look to see. I like to use this one here. Let's look. That large sunspot will be coming around over here whenever it's visible. It should be visible any day. It's not visible yet, but it's coming. And when it does make that turn around the eastern limb of the sun, we could see a very large increase in solar activity. So that's something we'll be keeping a very close eye on. Right now, looking at the solar activity, I think there was a solar flare, which we just saw, a CME solar flare within the last 36 hours. Is it going to come on? We'll have to wait for that and see. We'll check the Schumann. Man, the Schumann's been super quiet. Must be that polar vortex, huh? Yeah, small solar flare, a little over 24 hours ago. M1, I believe. And a large C flare. So overall, solar activity's been pretty quiet, but that is definitely subject to change when that very large sunspot and active region, once again, it's on the far side of the sun right now, but it's turning towards the Earth, and it has been affecting the way the sun oscillates. It's that big and that strong. All right, guys. Thanks for spending part of your Friday with me. Thanks for hanging out. Just know we're 100 days away from the total solar eclipse. It's going to be April 8th of 2024. We are going to be reporting live from the path of totality in one of these areas here. So you'll definitely want to subscribe, and you don't want to miss that event. That's going to be a day that'll be in the history books forever, because if this comet shows up, which it's going to, and if it puts on a show like it potentially could, we could see like a star type of a feature throwing an outburst in the daytime sky right in the middle of a solar eclipse. That is nuts. I've never heard of such a thing. But we're going to be there, and we're going to try to record this entire event and bring it to you live. So if you want to see that event and other things like it, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click on that bell. That way you'll be notified each time I upload a video, and you'll be notified the day of the solar eclipse that is going to be joined by a comet, and the sky could look something like this during a solar eclipse. I don't think that's ever happened. But when it does, we're going to be there to record it with multiple devices and on a live stream. So make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss that day. All right, guys. Olivia, next exit. Peaceful Warrior, you're welcome. My pleasure. Lola May, Darren Ortiz, Lori Steck. What date? April 8th of 2024. Exactly 100 days from today. We're going to be doing a live stream from either Texas. We're going to do a live stream from possibly Indiana. A live stream from possibly southeastern Illinois. Maybe Ohio. Might be up in Maine. Not sure yet. I'm waiting to get the best forecast. So we've got to wait, at least 10 days before the event. So we're not going to be able to decide until the end of March of 2024. So whoever's going to have the best weather, no clouds, that's going to be up to El Nino, because we're entering the El Nino weather pattern. Look for a mild winter this year, guys, because the polar vortex is staying contained up in the Arctic area. So it's keeping the cold air corralled. So don't look for a super cold winter. Yeah, there'll be a few days where the weather gets cold, and you'll see a little bit of snow, of course. But overall, it should be a mild winter because the polar vortex is being corralled thanks to El Nino. All right, guys, don't forget to subscribe. Click the bell if you want notified when I upload a new video. Once again, thanks for spending part of your Friday with me, and make sure you come back and join us again for another live stream over here at MrMBB333. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.